Hi, I'm Laurie Sallarulo, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of South Florida, and I am here today with Anelena Longhi, Vice President of Marketing with City Furniture. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
The City Furniture storefront here at Finance Park.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure. So, Andrew, of course, is on our board. City Furniture is probably one of the most giving organizations in our community. There are so many causes that you get involved with or could get involved with.
Yep.
Why JA and why Girls Rule?
So that's a great question, and as you mentioned, City Furniture, and it's actually part of our 5% giving pledge. And what that essentially is our commitment to give 5% of all of our profits back to the community. And to your point, education and JA is one of those pillars. And with that, what JA provides, and I think we all know this, and it's maybe just the cliche, the children are our future. And I have just briefly, as you introduced me this morning, learned about all of the tactics and the tools that you're equipping these kids with. It's important. And these are not things that traditionally we learn, even in my times. We were not exposed to this. And we have to empower kids with the tools for them to own their own economic success.
You're talking my language.
And
right?
I think specifically to your point with Girls Rule, we all know that women do face a little bit of a different challenge. We are, faced with being stifled of our superpowers, right? And I think it's important to coach them and to teach them and position them and prepare them to own their voice and use their voice so that they can have that rightful seat at the table.
Preach.
And that's
I love it.
That's
I
important.
love it. I'm the mom of two, and I always said, I want my kids to have the tools, the resources,
Yep.
the skills,
Yep.
right? Whatever they need. Of course, you want them to be happy and loved and all of
Sure.
those things. But I want them to find their passion, right? Do what they love and have the skills and resources to go out and do it well,
Exactly
And
right.
be successful in that.
Exactly right.
And you talk about skills and tools and all of that. One of the tools that I think is so important for young people, especially our girls, I agree with you, and that's mentors, right? So who were maybe some of the mentors that you had? Who maybe somebody who inspired you?
So I think for me, what I personally believe is that you are the canvas and the fabric of the folks that you surround yourself with. And I think sometimes when we use the word mentors, and I'm going to use the word daunting, it's you have to think of this person, the CEO, and somebody that almost seems unattainable for you to lean on. And the take that I have and the purview that I have is essentially I'm inspired by all of the people that I choose to surround myself with, and that is family members, friends, peers, and that's my circle. And for me, what more do you want to look for in a mentor than somebody who challenges you, wants the best for you, and supports you and teaches you? That's what we need to look for in a mentor.
Right.
And for me, I lean on peers, I lean on my family, and folks that I see there that are doing great work in the community. I reach out to them. And to me, it is a plethora of mentors, and it is extremely important to have that in your life.
Yeah. And by the way, I am a firm believer that not only I'll use the words anyway, but
Sure.
not only do mentees learn from mentors,
It's a two-way
but guess
street.
what? It's the other way around. I have often learned things from people, young women that I was mentoring,
Yeah.
right? Even if it was just something about myself.
Absolutely.
It's that constant learning from each other,
Exactly
no matter
right.
who it is, right?
That's
and it's not
absolutely
about
right.
a title. That's so true. So, you talk a little bit about having the tools and the skills and mentors.
Sure.
Today, listen, I think you and I were just talking a moment ago about how this is a tough world today, right? With social media. When I went through things as a kid, you went home, it was in my case a safe place. And hopefully for most kids it's a safe place. I know it's not for all. But now you can't escape it, right? But but besides that, what are some of the, or what is the biggest challenge that you think our young girls are facing today?
So as you mentioned, I think there is a bias that exists. As women, we have to work harder, we have to work faster, and we have to deliver more to see the same outcomes and treatments. That is unfortunate. And I think this is exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to close that gap, right? And there are things that we are working on at a more macro level to ensure that equality exists starting now to the future and beyond, where it is a level playing field. There are certain things that are outside of our direct control that we as humans can own, as women we can own. And I think that's the important piece in terms of the challenges and these biases that we're facing. There's one thing, and this is statistically proven, where men traditionally overvalue their contributions and we undervalue our contributions, right? And there is this massive gap that exists today. But that we can control.
Yeah.
We have to believe in ourselves. We have to speak up and know our worth and speak our worth. It's intimidating. It does not come naturally, intrinsically to us. But that moment we own. And I think that's important. And I think it's a really big challenge, but something that every single one of us can actually work to improve within our own control. And certainly speaking out and see something, say something, and supporting the women that you're surrounded by within the workplace as well.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for our girls to hear from people like you, right? You're not that far. I mean, I'm a little older than them, so they see me as, they think I was here my whole life, that I always had this confidence, right?
Yeah.
That I always had a presence or whatever it is they see. That's not true. Right? And so you talk about, just in there, I could pull out a couple of things, right? Confidence, that's what Girls Rule is about. It's about teaching them, right, that their self-worth and to not be afraid to believe in themselves. It's about courage to step out of that box, right?
Exactly right.
And it's also, I want to use a C word, but I don't have another C word for this, but it's really about also, and if I could tell younger people anything, it would be, don't let the perceptions and the biases, right, shape who you are. Because actually the research shows that by the age of 6, girls begin to think that they are what people perceive them to be.
Exactly
right?
right.
Whether it's racial
Exactly
inequality, gender inequality, any of those things. So if we could teach them and leave them today, right, or on March 31st, with the legacy and leave them with that imprint, to just know that they don't have to listen to the haters and the doubters, right? To be who they are and be true to them, have the courage and the confidence, right, to go after what they want.
That's exactly right.
I can't think of a better place to end that. Can you?
No, that's great.
It is such a pleasure to have you here at JA.
Pleasure is all
in City
mine.
Furniture.
Thank you so much.
And we are so grateful for your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you.